Alright, so this here is a pine stump, okay? Now you can do this with a shovel. I'm just picking this piece up right here, right? I can feel that it's got some stiffness to it, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can break it on this tree. Alright, I broke it. So now I got down to what's on the inside, right? And I smell it, and that's FATLIGHTER. And I know that's FATLIGHTER because of the smell, and it's sitting right here by this pine tree, so it's probably an old limb or something, I don't know. But what I'm about to do with the tractor, you can do this with a shovel, but I'm gonna do it with the tractor real quick. I'm just gonna push this stump around and try to get some of them roots up. It's kind of hard with a shovel. I got the tractor. I'm back here in the woods, just walking around, looking for these old stumps like this. I found a couple big ones earlier, and the storm come through, dropped this big old oak tree. But I need some, I'm having trouble starting my wood in my fireplace, so I need some more FATLIGHTER, and that's what I use to start my wood. And I just get it up out of the woods and go from there. And I split it, and I'm going to show you all that. I found a real nice piece laying on the ground, and it's petrified wood is all it is. And all the sap goes down to the bottom of the stump. Here's some good pieces right here. And I just found these pretty much, like, this piece here was exposed a little bit out the ground, and I went and found it. And so it's hard to tell you what it smells like. I can tell you whenever I split it, because I like to strip it up with a machete. And then it's got a strong smell. And what I usually do is I'll put it in a coffee can, something near the fireplace, and I'll use it as needed. I mean, you don't use a whole lot. You strip it down with the machete, and then you put a few pieces in there, whatever it takes. Get your fire going, and that's it. This here is an old pine stump too, right here. I was about to push it over. This is a prime example of how I do it. You can see the pine bark still on this tree right here. Okay. Oh yeah, this is a good one, huh? Look at that. If you can find them like this and just rock them around, you can pull them straight up out the ground. Oh yeah. That's a 4-foot piece of FATLIGHTER. Yep. So y'all just witnessed that with me. So here's the thing. Not all this is FATLIGHTER. When I start busting it down and banging on it with the machetes, you're gonna get down to the core of the tree, and that's where the FATLIGHTER lies. But like this right here, this is pretty hard. Oh yeah. I'm not even gonna go back and dig up that stump. So I have enough right now. That stump's literally right here. I was driving to it, didn't even see that other one. So yeah, I'll save that one for later. I'll come back and get that in a couple of years. I need some more. Like I said, I'll split all this down, and I mean, this will last me a year, if not more. Just between that right there, I got old Massey Ferguson out here. Got 416 hours on her. Alright, see you at the shop. Alright, so here we are in the shop. By the way, it's December 3rd. I'm not sure of the weather. So, this is how I strip this firewood. Call it stripping. You take a machete. Be very careful with a machete. If you've never used a machete, it will cut your hand slap off. My uncle cut his leg almost off with one by accident. Now, I ain't gonna tell you how I used to do this when I was a kid before I had advice. But now, I'm a grown up with advice, so all you're gonna do is just, I'm even going to take, really don't want to do this in here, but I don't want to move my table right now. I'm gonna take this hammer and I'm gonna tap it through. Now, if the wood that you have will not hold in a vise like this, then you got rotten wood. It's just a piece of oak or something that looks like FATLIGHTER. So, right there is what you want to see. It smells good. It smells like kind of like pine saw. I mean, it's from a pine tree, so. A lot of this wood can be deceiving. You can think that it's FATLIGHTER, and it's not. But this here is genuine FATLIGHTER. It's a little older than I like to find it. It will decompose the rest of the way. At one point, this whole knob right here was probably straight FATLIGHTER and didn't have any of this crusty, old, rotted stuff on it. We're going to bust her down again. See if the vise can break it a little bit. Oh, yeah. So I'm having trouble getting this fire started even with this FATLIGHTER, probably because I put this whole chunk in there that was not cleaned. This is a little thin piece I like to strip it down into, okay? Now I'm going to show you how this thing lights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece right here and I'm going to put it around that big piece. So when that big piece gets going, you will never be able to put it out. I mean, you can, but this thing just burns like a candle. Okay. If you look, you might can see it boiling a little bit. Now this is straight up. I just stripped this wood. Y'all see me strip it. Like I said, I'm having trouble getting this piece to start up because it's a big fat piece that's unstripped, is what I like to call it. Broke down into smaller pieces. So I'm just going to give it some helper pieces to kind of get it going and keep it going. All I pretty much did with that piece I just put in there is just knock the dirt off of it. I didn't even do nothing else to it. Yeah, see it burning black? Now typically what you'll do if you got fairly dry wood, you just take a couple pieces like this right here and you build your little stick pile underneath the dry wood and then it'll get it going. This is just a natural fire starter. You can find it right in the earth. I live on 6 acres of land. 4 of them are woods. I've been pulling FATLIGHTER off of this land since I've owned it for about 15 years now. I mean, pine trees are always falling. They're always going to fall. They're never going to stay forever. Nothing is. So it's like a regenerating free fire starter. All you got to do is go out there and get it. And before I owned the tractor, I used to go out there with a pickaxe and a trench shovel, and I would dig up them stumps. Because I've been burning wood long before I owned my tractor. Alright, we'll see how that does. I'm going to split up some more. What we're looking for is we're getting down into here. We're going to shave it. Okay. Believe it or not, that piece is a real good piece too. Like I said, this ain't the best quality FATLIGHTER that I could find. I kind of was just out there winging it. I've been burning the crap out of some cardboard. I'm actually running out. Not running out, but I'm just tired of burning cardboard. Cardboard sucks. So I'm leaving them in this size pieces. Now remember, that was one half of this, and I've already burned a quarter of it. I'll show you, you can bust these things up down into smaller pieces. I don't, but you can. I mean, I have. Okay, now I'm going to take my hammer, and I'm going to split this for you. Okay.
you start splitting this stuff, it smells so good.
Oh yeah, that's that good stuff. I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on my fire, but it's going slowly but surely. Alright, so I had to move my wood around. That fat lighter piece was just laying in the dirt on the bottom. So what I did was I stacked a piece of wood underneath it, sat it on top, put a couple more pieces in there, and then I put the big piece of fat lighter on top of the little pieces of fat lighter, and so that should get what I'm trying to get done here, get that thing started. Break it up. Oh yeah, it smells good.
Alright, I'm going to show you just what I yielded from just that little bit, that little piece. I mean, that's a handful of straight up free burning fire starter.
I mean, watch it. Ain't nothing on the...
You might say, well, you can start any twig in a fire, a small enough twig. The difference between this and a small twig is a small twig will burn out. I can leave this sitting upright like this, and it will burn until it burns my hand.
This is the honey pot right here. Oh, that smells good. That knot that I was cutting through. And when you get that real good fat lighter, you handling it like this, it gets sticky. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's got that. That's that sap in there. I mean, it almost when it's really good fat lighter and pure, kind of smells like a kerosene or I ain't gonna say gasoline, but you ain't never gotta worry about this just exploding. By the way, it burns slow. It burns like a oil-soaked piece of wood. Alright, so I'm just going to take this tub that I got a fat lighter right now. I'm going to take it over here and set it over here because I'm not real sure. I don't think it matters if it dries out. Or not dries out, but the outside will get dry because this is how I used to leave it all the time when I lived in the single wide. I used to have it in a coffee can on the counter beside the fireplace. And it was fine. Every now and then it would get kind of drier than I wanted. I just burned a whole lot and just go cut me up some more. But it would get hot in that trailer. Alright folks, that's it for my fat lighter video. Here's that big stump that we found out there whenever y'all was I was actually filming. That's very coincidental. And then I found this piece too. So what I'll do with something like this is I'll cut this up with a chainsaw in like 1 foot pieces. And then I'll bust it down from there. And if I got to pull the log splitter out to bust it down to pieces I can handle, then that's what I'll do. But right now I got a pretty good bit right here, and show you that the old fire is burning, baby. I loaded it up and it's going good. So if you like this kind of stuff, that's just my rendition of how to find fat lighter, a little short sewn together version. I'm just back there looking for fat lighter. I was like, you know, I'm gonna make a video about this because not a lot of people know how to do it. I mean, not a lot of people know that you can go out there in the woods and find natural fire starter, and you know they just think, oh, well, you got to go to Walmart and get it, or you got to go somewhere and buy it, you know. And it could be right there 10 feet away from them in their backyard and not even know it. That old heart piece, that big piece that I put in there, she's burning good. And all this other wood's starting to burn, and it's like I said, it's wet. If I leave it open and we watch this fire for long enough, and I might open it up and look in a little bit, but a lot of times you'll see moisture on the tips of these logs. That's that moisture burning out. Alright, like I said, if you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe.